The NFL on EA Sports has come to the Twin Cities at US Bank Stadium in downtown Minneapolis. Coming up, we've got what can only be described as a mirror image matchup between the Minnesota Vikings and themselves. Greg Joseph now ready to get this one started, and we are underway from Minneapolis. Kene Nwangwu now out of his end zone. And tackled at the 21-yard line, so a net negative there of 4 yards. First play, here's Cousins. That's complete to Justin Jefferson. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. That good for 21 yards on the catch and run. One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Now the first carry for Dalvin Cook. And how he got away from that first tackler, no idea, but he did, and it winds up with positive yardage. The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Throwing, Cousins. That one into the hands of Thielen, complete. And they're able to work this across midfield to the 48.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or?
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4. Running for the first time with a fullback, C.J. Ham. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. 7 yards there and a first down.
Well, after that pickup of a first down, I think some of the defensive guys are going to be looking over their coordinator and saying that was not in the scouting report. That went against every tendency most teams have. You don't usually hand the ball to your big guy in that situation. Sometimes you catch them by surprise.
It was Danielle Hunter to make the play in the backfield. That's the danger, Charles, of running plays like this for your wide receiver. They can hit big or they can be duds.
Yeah, you're exactly right about that, because if they're forced to try and go around defenders behind the line of scrimmage, sometimes you can give yardage in order to gain it. But in this case, they gave yardage and didn't get it back.
They'll try to throw now. Cousins. Open man is Osborne. He's got it. And this is going to turn into another first down as the tackle is made at the Vikings' 15-yard line. A good pickup there of 20 yards. First down, here's the run with Cook. And able to surge forward for about 5 yards down to the 10.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. Here's Cook again. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. That leads us to a 1st and goal. It's a pickup of 8. The impressive opening drive continues, and just space being created by those guys up front.
We're seeing this the same way, aren't we? We are seeing an offensive line as this game gets started.
And he'll get in. Touchdown, Minnesota. Dalvin Cook. A 3-yard touchdown run. And the Vikings will jump on top with the game's first score here this afternoon. Joseph connects on the extra point, and it's now a 7-0 game. Now Joseph tees it up to kick off following the touchdown. Nwangwu now from his end zone. And he's able to get this across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down officially at the 21. Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their own 21. On play action, they'll throw. Sliding out of the pocket. And he's got this to Jefferson. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. That one good for 37 yards.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. But big plays, Let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great, and what our camera missed was the fist pump from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. That's a big game. Cousins on first down. Catch is made by Hockenson, the tight end. And they're going to work this down to about the 32-yard line.
A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, try to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. But not this guy. He's a refined route runner. Makes me wonder if he took some dance classes in his background with his...
Looking for Thielen, but it's intercepted. Picked off by Chandon Sullivan. And the Vikings are going to have the short field here as they'll take over right at the 50. Well, we've seen quarterbacks get away with throwing the ball on the run, no doubt. But this, Charles, I think you'd agree, not the best of throws.
And listen, you're not always going to have a clean pocket to step up with the proper mechanics and deliver the football. I mean, that's a given. But you also have to understand your limits and know what you can get away with and what you can't when you're trying to make a throw like that.
Cousins gives way to Cook. Tackle made that time by Dalvin Tomlinson.
And that's exactly what you want on a first down run. Pick up 5 yards, bring up 2nd and 5. The defensive line, though, they've got to figure out a way to out-leverage the guys up front because the offensive line is winning at the point of attack.
From the 17, Cousins. Open man, he's got him, the tight end, Hockenson. And the Vikings are going to have a 1st and goal as he's taken down at about the 8-yard line.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size can't really hide him. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a 1st down.
And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down. Throwing is Cousins. Oh, into a sea of defenders and intercepted. Picked off by Chandon Sullivan. And they will be set up now as he brings this thing all the way back inside the 20.
And as we've seen, points have been precious so far, and they just threw some away on that snap. And look, let's face it, as we advance further into this game, that play will be on the minds of everyone who's watching it. They wonder if this is the turning point. Is this the spot where those points were given away and could cost them a ball game?
And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. K.J. Osborne, an 18-yard touchdown run. And the Vikings are an extra point away from evening this one up. Joseph connects on the extra point, and we are tied at 7. And how about this decision? Tie game first half, but here's an onside kick. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. And the Vikings able to recover. The hands team does its job. A second quarter onside kick there that failed. Is that something that maybe they had dialed up before this game started?
It feels like it, doesn't it? That they thought they had the right situation, you know, and the right approach in going after it. Also may signal that they feel like they have the superior team, that they can try these sorts of things and it won't come back and hurt them later.
He'll get 15 and a Vikings 1st down. Second quarter, 2 minutes to go. Tie ball game. Cook up the gut. And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's 2nd down.
And that was a quality play to start a new set of downs. That was simply an offensive line winning the battle up front and winning in a big way and giving their guy in the backfield a nice lane to hit.
2nd down, they go right back to Cook. 3 yards is half of what they needed. Now can they get the other 3 here on 3rd down?
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature and make sure you don't get hurt.
And they're going to get this down inside the 20.
Hey, let's face it, you can put any Halloween costume on him. You're not going to be able to disguise him because for a tight end of his size, difficult to sneak him anywhere, but that's what they tried to do. Lined up on his right, tried to work his way back to his left,
but just a minimal gain as the defense was able to react quickly.
Joseph's got it, and they take the lead here now at 10-7. So they're able to end that drive with 3 points in this one-possession ball game.
And ideally, you want to end every drive with points. Most quarterbacks would tell you, let's end it with a kick, right? A PAT, that's number one. Field goal you'll take. Punts, you really don't want to do that. In this case, they'll take the field goal and get prepared for the rest of the game.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. A slim deficit here in a one-possession game. Not much time left, obviously. We'll see if they can march this down the field, at least get 3, and take some momentum into the locker room. And that is caught on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. The throw took him a little too far. It's second down.
Well, no kneeling for them. They decided they weren't going to run out the clock. They decided to take their shot downfield, hoping to either make a connection or a pass interference call. They wanted more points to put on the board.
To throw on 2nd and 10. Cousins setting up the screen for Cook. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts, as the clock will stop with 20 seconds to go in the first half. We'll see what they have drawn up here. A little bit behind the line. 12 yards needed to gain a first down. On 3rd down, Cousins. Open here, Adam Thielen. And this will not get close to the first down marker as he's brought down at the 26. Now another timeout called for by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. Cousins to throw for it on 4th. He's got a man. Complete. Touchdown, Vikings. K.J. Osborne in the final seconds of the first half. And the Vikings have taken the lead here in the final stages of this first half. Joseph connects on the extra point, and the lead is now 14-10. Well, the Vikings are pointing. They've got it. Minnesota football. Well, they just scored. They got the lead, and they decide to keep their foot on the accelerator, so to speak.
Scouting, scouting, scouting. They had to have seen something in their preparation for this game that told them in this situation, if they get the look they like, let's go ahead and go for it anyway. They like being bold.
Eluding the pressure right. He'll fire it deep for Rager. And now this is intercepted. My goodness. And he will be out of bounds with no time remaining on what will be the final action of this first half. Time for a break. We've hit halftime. 2 quarters down. 2 still remain. We step aside. This is the NFL on EA Sports. The Vikings have to like their position. They've got the lead. They get this football as well as we are back and underway for the second half. Nwangu now from his end zone. And in hindsight, probably should have taken a knee as he only gets this out to the 16-yard line. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And despite the turnovers, Charles, and they had multiple in that first half, they still have the lead as they begin this 3rd quarter.
And they probably heard some conflicting tones at the half, don't you think? A lot of praise for what they did to get this lead, but also a little bit of scolding because they got to take better care of the football in the second half. But you and I both know the great leaders, they know how to give that little bit of vinegar in there and cover it with a big dose of honey.
They'll get him to the ground at the 20 following a pickup of 4. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains. Cousins from the gun on 3rd. And that's going to be incomplete. The coverage too good there. The contact popped the ball free, and it's 4th down. So it would appear they will not be able to add to their lead on this opening drive of the second half.
Yeah, if another touchdown was scored there, now we're talking about a 2-score game, and they're probably on their way of creating an excellent gap between them and their pursuers. But how about the defense there, able to step up and keep themselves in this one?
But he will be stopped behind the line as he will not come close to the marker. So certainly an interesting call there to go for it. And boy, possession here turns over with the football already being in the red zone. So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10. Trying to fire up that running game with Dalvin Cook. Able to fight for about 4 yards there to the 13.
Oftentimes we praise an offense for their variety of being able to hit people with the run in the pass. But in this game, how about what we're seeing from the safeties? They are all over the field. Doesn't matter if they threw it or if they're trying to run it.
I don't think we've ever awarded an MVU, most valuable unit, but you're right, it might go to them in this game. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. C.J. Ham, a 13-yard touchdown run. And the Vikings have retaken a third-quarter lead. Joseph connects on the extra point, and it's now 17-14. Now Joseph tees it up to kick off following the touchdown. Nwangu now from his end zone. And beyond the 20, but not by much. In fact, just a yard pass there to the 21. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. To Jefferson on the slant. And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down. First down yardage on the first play of the drive, 14 yards. Off the play fake, Cousins. On the run, he'll let this go deep right side. And that's caught inside the 30. A big play there for Minnesota. And even 60 yards.
We see this happen so often. If you're a defender, it's like watching a bad movie over and over. The pressure's good, forcing the quarterback out of the pocket. But it's a lot to ask for these defenders to stay plastered to receivers long enough. And sure enough, they let a man come open, and the connection leads to a big play.
2 of their 3 red zone trips so far, they've come up empty on. They'll look to reverse that trend on 2nd and goal. Cook trying to get to the goal line, but he's going to be stopped just short at the 1. Calling a gain of a yard as they get a little bit closer here. It's 3rd and goal. Now they'll send a tight end in motion left. They'll run for it with Cook. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. It's Dalvin Cook there with a 1-yard touchdown run. And the Vikings have taken the lead here in this third quarter. Cousins will try and throw. And he'll get into the end zone to make it a 5-point game. And with a successful 2-point try, the QB rolling out, I would imagine on the defense that makes it tough. When he goes out, he's got the option to run or pass. Yeah, it really does. If you decide not to bring extra people or extra pressure, maybe you have to have a spy on the quarterback, someone to account for him, because oftentimes that is the unaccounted for player. Now Joseph tees it up to kick off following the touchdown. It's a squib kick fielded just inside the 20. And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And as the offense begins another drive here, pretty simple, Charles. They want to carbon copy what happened the last time out when they ended their drive in the end zone.
You're right about that, partner. Sounds pretty simple, doesn't it? Just score again, but we know it's not that simple because we don't just make adjustments at halftime if you're a good football team. You spend that time on the sideline, you study what's on the notes and the tablets, and you make those adjustments to prevent a repeat of the last drive. Series to series, the best teams, that's how they get it done.
And we'll find out here soon enough whether those adjustments are enough defensively. From just shy of midfield, Cousins. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he's going to be taken down at about the 33.
Nice job, nice patience right there. Put him on the right side, let him work his way across, put the ball in his hands, and let him work his way upfield with a catch.
And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this third quarter. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. They'll try the middle with Cook. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain on the play. It'll be second down.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
Meanwhile, Cousins' throw pulled in by Jefferson. And he'll be brought down at about the 23-yard line. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
By the skin of their teeth, they are able to convert on 3rd and inches.
3rd and inches, just turn around, hand it to the big guy, and let him plow forward and pick up a first down. A lot of people think that the offensive line, they may almost take the play off because they got a big guy back there pushing forward. I think it actually works in reverse. I think they block harder because they love seeing that guy get the ball because he doesn't touch it very often.
And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's second down. Here's Cousins. And he comes back with one complete. Touchdown! T.J. Hockenson, 23 yards for the touchdown. And the Vikings have moved out in front here in the 4th quarter. Cook, they'll try and run it. And he'll get into the end zone. So now a field goal would only tie as they've upped their lead to 3. Now Joseph tees it up to kick off following the touchdown. Nwangu now from his end zone. And tackled at the 21-yard line, so a net negative there of 4 yards. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And they will be looking to answer the touchdown their defense just surrendered. Still a good chunk of time remaining here in the 4th quarter and a chance to regain the lead in a tight one. It'll be a loss of 10. And it'll bring up second.
That sack doesn't change their offensive game plan. They always want to air it out and try and get the ball downfield quickly. They're going to have to block a little bit better, though, because the urgency and pressure just increase. Twice the distance now just to get a first down, and one less down to try and get it.
The throw down the field caught by his running back. And he'll get it up here this time to the 21. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for 3rd down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. 3 points separating these two sides with 2 minutes left to go in the 4th. That one good for 24 yards. From the gun, it's a give to Cook. And he's got it across the midfield stripe and into Viking territory. 8 yards the gain on that last run. Here's second and a couple. They run it again with Cook. Oh, he shifts past him. They'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. A give to Cook out of the gun. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts, as they'll get a chance to talk it over after picking up the first down. They'll run with Cook. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. Dalvin Cook, his second touchdown of the afternoon. And the Vikings answer back with a touchdown of their own to take a fourth-quarter lead. Joseph connects on the extra point, and that will make this a 4-point game. Now Joseph tees it up to kick off following the touchdown. This is taken just shy of the 10. And he'll get it up just past the 20 as his guys will go to work at the 21-yard line. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out. Looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated. They both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains. Now Cousins. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. These strong safeties, some people may not realize it. It's really like an extra linebacker, right?
It really is because they're hybrids. Half linebacker, half defensive back. The linebacker in him on that play emerged.
Cousins to throw. Completes this to Jefferson. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. Give them 35 yards there on the third down conversion.
I think this defense was still trying to recover from that last play, so you wonder if they were ready for this one. You have to imagine their defensive coaches are yelling at them to get focused, because if they don't, more plays like that will result in giving up points.
Here's Cousins. Complete. Jefferson the target. And he's going to be taken down. Plus, there's a penalty flag in the backfield. They may get 15 more on top of this. Well, certainly those are the types of mistakes they're trying to avoid as they attempt to protect this lead late in the game.
And let's face it, they're hoping that this one doesn't cost them in a significant way. Yeah, one guy committed a penalty, but now the entire defense has to pay the price.
And he's got it. It's caught for a touchdown. And they have taken the lead here in the final seconds. Charles, that drive was perfect, methodical, executed so well, and they grabbed that lead with almost no time left for a last gasp from the other side.
No way you could have drawn up a better final drive, because not only did they keep their eyes on the end zone, they made sure they bled the clock out as well and denied their opponent a chance to respond. That's just terrific situational football to end this one.
Now Joseph tees it up to kick off following the touchdown. Short kick. One of the up middle take it now. And they're going to have really good starting field position here as that's taken up close to the 40. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And now last drive so successful with the ground game, ending in a touchdown. Do you stick with that formula?
That would be the number one thing you would think of, but so many guys now would look at it and say, we've got them set up so well for play action, now's the time to take a shot.
Yeah.
But, you know, there was a big-time coach in the state of Ohio who once said, if you throw the ball, if you put it in the air, 3 things can happen, and 2 of them are bad. He would have kept it on the ground.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Cousins. And that will be incomplete. 4 ticks left here on the clock. So after all of this, it comes down to one final play.
And just think of what it's going to be, because from this distance, you got to be prepared for everything. Hook and laterals, tip balls, you name it. A lot of laterals after a catch. Just got to be prepared, stay on your feet defensively, and tackle someone.
After an incomplete pass on second down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. One last shot now for Cousins. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And it's incomplete. So their final drive comes up empty. And with that, the ball game is over. And a fun, close ball game comes to an end. On that last play, Charles, they were on the wrong side of midfield. They needed something near a miracle, and they couldn't get it done.
Yeah, the effort, that was good. Very good.
The NFL on EA Sports has come to the Twin Cities at U.S. Bank Stadium in downtown Minneapolis. Today, we've got a good NFC matchup on tap between the Philadelphia Eagles and the Minnesota Vikings. Greg Joseph now ready to get this one started, and we are underway from Minneapolis. And they will elect to not bring this one out as our first drive will begin at the 25. First play, and Hurts looking to throw it. A quick throw knocked away and incomplete.
That certainly appeared to be a play call where they were just trying to make second down, second and short. I think they thought the coverage was off a little bit more than it was. Nice job there pressing up on it and forcing the incompletion.
Miles Sanders, first carry of the game. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. 2 yards the loss, and now 3rd and 12.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
And this is caught by Watkins. He's got the first down and more, and he's going to be out of bounds right at midfield. A pickup of 27, and they pick up the first down in the process. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. He's got a man, complete. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Devontae yards. And the Eagles are on the board first here this afternoon. Elliott good on the extra point, and that makes the score 7-0. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. Kene Nwangwu now out of his end zone. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 right at the 30. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Chauncey Gardner-Johnson with a pick. And the Eagles are going to take possession of the football. So they gave up the big play on the touchdown in the first drive, Charles, and now they were looking for a big play of their own. Instead, they throw the interception.
And, Brandon, they came right out and went for it, trying to push the ball downfield. But remember, the other side.
All right, guys, wife and kids are in. Sorry about that.
They got a little impatient there, and it cost them.
On 1st and 10, it's Sanders. Always got some breathing room. And he'll take it into the end zone for an Eagles touchdown.
I probably couldn't have started any worse.
Sanders,
Cool.
yards. And the Eagles are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Elliott good with a P. To zip.
I need to pick it up here, guys. I'm sorry. Anybody who's new to the channel, please subscribe, click the notification bell. You know.
Nwangu now from his end zone. And he returns this to the 22. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. Charles, it's kind of gut check time. Look, I know it's early, first quarter, just their second drive of the game, but they've already thrown the inners. And that's caught inside the 35. Touchdown, Vikings. Justin Jefferson.
This play is unstoppable for people who don't know how to cover it. Now, if someone knows how to cover it, not so well. Oh my gosh.
Kick is no good. It's an early miss. We'll see if that has any ramifications later here as the afternoon wears on. And the Eagles dodge a bullet. They cover it up. So an onside kick fail in the first quarter. Not sure I completely see the logic.
I can't get behind playing teams like this.
You almost have to go deeper, I think, and maybe if we try and work along with them and speculate a little bit here, they must feel like they need to steal possessions in this game, and maybe they don't match up possession for possession with the opposite team. They've got to steal it and try and gain an advantage, and they tried. They just didn't get it done.
On first down, Hurts. He'll get this one complete. That's A.J. Brown. And he's going to be marked down just inside the 35. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is.
Screen?
Not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring
I need to pick it up.
The quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
They'll run with Sanders. And he's going to pull his way down to about the 1-yard line. 41 yards on the ground for him so far.
That's a great run right there on first down. Didn't quite get into the end zone, but now you've set yourself up for at least 2, maybe 3 more shots from close range.
Second and goal from the 1. Once again with Sanders. And he's in.
Damn.
For Eagles touchdown. Miles Sanders with his second touchdown in this opening quarter. And the Eagles have taken a 2-touchdown lead now. Elliott good on the extra point, and the lead is up to 15 now. after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. Nwangu now from his end zone. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Well, partner, you know, coaches always say that every play is designed to score a touchdown. Sometimes that's not really true, but last drive, that was the...
Dang it, that pressure freaking gets to you. All right.
And the Eagles are going to take possession of the football.
But to me, it's pretty simple, and it's fairly obvious, isn't it? He's got to start making better decisions with the ball.
That's now 2 interceptions in the first quarter. After interception number 1, there was a long talk on the sideline, and now he's made another mistake. Yeah,
he's just been kind of laying these passes out there. He's kind of been floating them a little bit. He's got to be more decisive in his reads and definitely more decisive in throwing the ball. Rifle it in there every now and then.
Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. Hurts sets up to throw it. And he'll slide to a halt here. Still a little shy of the first down marker. He turned that into a nice gain. Gets him 8 yards closer for 3rd down. Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first. Throwing is Hurts. Throwing inside complete. That's Brown. And all the way inside the 15 before they drive.
I look like a freaking joke right now. Not somebody who's ranked freaking top 10,000. This is ridiculous.
An entertaining start to this one. More to come on EA Sports. On 1st and 10, it's Hurts. Escaping the pressure right. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
Thank you, Harrison Smith.
Both sides were anticipating a quick throw there, and the defense was ready to jump in and deny it, and they did.
On 2nd down, here's the option. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Calling no gain on the run there, and now they'll be looking at a 3rd down. Well, for that being an option play, there really weren't too many options available for him, were there?
No, there weren't, and at least he was able to get back to the line of scrimmage, so they didn't lose anything, but you're exactly right. Nowhere to go.
Here's Hurts to throw. Looking right side, and that's complete to Watkins.
Damn.
Touchdown,
okay.
Eagles.
Here I go.
Quez Watkins from 13 yards out. And the Eagles are able to widen their lead here in this first half. Elliott good with a PAT. And the lead opens up now to 22 points. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. Nwangu now from his end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And for this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together on this drive, because remember last time out they threw the interception on the very first play.
And you can't afford to let this defense keep building any more momentum. They're playing awfully well, and they're awfully confident right now. To me, it's time to attack and take some of that momentum back, but make sure you're selective in doing so. Understand where you want to throw the football and make sure it's open before the ball leaves your hands.
His first catch, good for 9 and a first down. Cousins rolling to his left. That's complete to the receiver, Thielen. Ball at the 40 here for 2nd and 5. On play action, Cousins rolling to his right. And that's complete to K.J. Osborne. And they're going to get this up to midfield. From the pistol, they run it with Cook. And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12. Again, it's Cook. And a good run here as he'll rumble all the way down to the 40-yard line. 1:58 left to play till we hit halftime. Following the good run by Cook, here's another 1st and 10. To throw, Cousins. He'll get this complete to Jalen Reagor. And he'll be marked down right at the 20-yard line. From the red zone now, Cousins. That's to Cook out of the backfield. And he'll be taken down at the 20 after a gain of just 1.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. You're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
That was a touchdown if he could have hung on. Instead, it was a well-timed collision to jar that one free.
After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. Now Cousins. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Chauncey Gardner-Johnson with a pick. And the Eagles are going to take over at their own 13-yard line.
And when a team advances as far as they did, got over the 50-yard line, don't you think that drive deserved a better ending? I think he needs to get with his coaches on the sidelines, make some immediate adjustments, and that's what you do. You don't wait. You do it from series to series because drives like that end with a turnover,
why would you just sit? Why would you sit there?
And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. They'll throw on 1st down with Hurts. That's caught by the big tight end, Dallas Goedert. The Eagles going to take the first of their timeouts as it'll come with 36 ticks to go in half number 1. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. Hurts. A battle for it, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Harrison Smith. And his guys are going to take over at the 21-yard line. He's certainly not been afraid to take some chances downfield. Now, look, it's paid off for him a couple of times. That time, not so fortunate.
And that's where I want to start, what you said. It's paid off a couple of times. So his aggressiveness.
That his pass is intercepted.
That was pathetic.
For the 4th time today.
I would not watch me right now. Screw this. This is so stupid.
Here at their own 47-yard line. Well, Charles, you know, it's so close to halftime there. You throw the interception. Not only that, you do give it to them in plus territory as well.
Yeah, they were pushing real hard to try and get something more on the board on their side of the ledger right before the half. Looking at it with 20/20 hindsight, though, might have been better to hand it off a few times, hoping to get something
nervous.
to break instead of putting the ball in the air. And, of course, putting the ball in jeopardy.
Game smart. Jeez.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes. But the best part for him, he's got 2nd and 3rd down to fall back on.
Hurts throw complete here to his receiver, Brown. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. A big play on the catch and run, covering 34 yards.
Big plays are starting to become the trend here in this 1st half, and everything that they've tried has worked. And there's another example right there.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. He finds his man complete. It's Watkins. And he'll be out of bounds, taking it just shy of the 10 at the 11 or the 12. A gain of 8 there on the play. And they'll be left with 2nd and a couple. Back to throw again. And it's caught. Touchdown. A.J. Brown. And the final seconds of the first half. And the Eagles will extend their lead here just before halftime. And it's no good. Oh, he misses the extra point, and our score stays right where it is. So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. Nwangu now from his end zone. And he's able to get this across the 20, but not by much as he's marked down officially at the 21. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And with 7 seconds remaining, not much time to really do anything. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw.
I don't know what in the hell is going on here, but this is not
Charles,
cool.
but the way that he has played in this first half, you just kind of hold your breath every time he drops back to pass.
Yeah, you might be holding your breath for those guys on the defensive side of the ball. They've got big smiles on their faces. He's handing out picks like the people just leave the candy out at Halloween and you take what you want. They're having a blast out there playing against him today.
And that'll do it for the end of the second quarter. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. The Vikings set to receive the second half kickoff, and they trail it here as we resume play. Nwangu now from his end zone. And that decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Costs him about 5 yards as he's tackled at the 20. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. CD, they certainly know the hole that they face as they begin the second half. They have to do what precious few teams have done in NFL history. That's try to come back from a 4-possession deficit.
Hey, partner, you know as that team gathers, they're saying to each other, you never say never, right? Because if you're on an NFL roster, that's how you have to think. You can always come back and win a ball game. And let's face it, we saw in Super Bowl a 25-point lead late. That wasn't enough to put someone away. But that being said, this task is near impossible. Let's face it. And bottom line is, it officially becomes impossible if this possession is an empty one.
A gain of 5, good enough for the first down. Well, this defense, they've got the 4-score advantage, and you can see why they continue to bottle up the run game, and really they've just been sharp in all facets here in this one, CD.
Yeah, they've kept that offense in check the entire game, and I think it's been led by what you just talked about, that defensive front, which has not allowed them to run the football and establish control of the line of scrimmage. I'm sure it was a tough halftime trying to figure out some strategy to get things going, trailing by a lot when they went into the locker room. He's just trying every avenue to spark his team here to begin the third quarter. Not a lot going on that play, though.
And my goodness, another interception. Darius Slay with a pick.
Well, I certainly think that we're seeing a big reason why this team has struggled to put points on the board so far, because too many of their drives have ended in turnovers already, and we still have almost a full half of football yet to play.
Hurts a handoff to Sanders. Trying to run inside, but nothing there. Tackle made there by Jordan Hicks. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Looking to throw. He'll buy some time right. Trying for Brown, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Harrison Smith. And the Vikings are going to get the football here at their own 23. Well, to be blunt, not a whole lot has gone right for this defense in this ball game, but that's something right there. Still in the 3rd quarter. It would take something around miracle territory for a comeback, but maybe that's a start, Charles.
It certainly is, and they're definitely showing that there's some fight still left in them. Hasn't been a banner day, but they're trying their best to put that disappointment behind them and find ways to make plays.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Well, we haven't exactly been treated to a nail-biter in this one, CD. And that's caught inside the 30. Touchdown, Vikings. Justin Jefferson. 2 catches, 2 touchdowns here so far. And the Vikings get a bit closer. Kevin O'Connell choosing to leave his guys out there. They'll go for 2. They'll try and throw for it. And he'll get in, and they're going to draw themselves 2 points closer.
They were so worried about a punch up the gut or a quick pass inside. They didn't take away an easy run by the QB. Doesn't bring them all the way back, but a good scramble there to erase 2 more points from that deficit.
I guess the last score wasn't enough for them. They want more. Here comes an onside kick. Well, the Vikings are pointing. They've got it. Minnesota football. Well, I guess they felt like they needed something to get them going. Maybe you wait for this type of a play, but they try the onside kick, and it works.
I'm starting to wonder if the analytics coach is starting to get involved in the football nowadays. When you see this type of play made, this type of a risk taken, sometimes there's a different influences going into the head coach's ear.
They'll come up on a 2nd and 4 now from the 40-yard line. Up the middle, it's Cook. And only a couple for him there as the tackle is made at the 42. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Throwing, Cousins. Open man, it's Rager. He's got it. And he will have a Vikings 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Now a give running right, it's Cook. On the tackle, it was the West Virginia man, Kaiser White. Another modest gain there on that one, and I think, Charles, you can probably pin part of the deficit on a failure on their part to really get this ground game established.
Yeah, and they've really struggled to be multidimensional in this one, haven't they, partner? Because they have to be extremely one-dimensional now if they hope to get back into this game. They'll have to do it by throwing the football and hope to have success through the air.
They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass.
Hey, we're good. Here we go.
Now Cousins. Lets it fly for Thielen. And unable to connect. Incomplete. I'll give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
And where they are on the scoreboard almost dictates taking this big shot and trying to get right back into the game. They took it there and couldn't connect. Despite the defense being ready, go ahead and force it downfield. See what you can get.
And they're going to be set up down around the 15-yard line. So after the big play on 4th, here's 1st and 10. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Touchdown, Vikings! T.J. Hockenson, a 15-yard touchdown grab. And the Vikings are able to cut into this deficit here in the final minute of the 3rd. Joseph on for the extra point. And this time he gets it to go as it is up and good. And they decide fairly early here they need the ball back, so here's an onside kick. And the Eagles hands team able to cover it up. I know they're down, but starting the 3rd quarter there with the onside kick, what'd you think?
Well, I think that they're looking at it as we may not have as many possessions in this game as we want. There may be that sense and that feel that they've got to go ahead and make something happen, steal a possession, try and steal some points, and get themselves right back in a position to try and win the game.
And he'll be tackled on the other side of midfield at the 46-yard line.
Oh, partner, just a second earlier, and they might have had him because they certainly thought they were going to close in and drop him behind the line of scrimmage, but he had just enough time to dodge the pressure, and he ends up getting yardage before being stopped.
And he'll go down, and that will do it for the third quarter of action. So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his third down play as we played 3 quarters. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. The Eagles on third down. A perfect 3 for 3 as they look to keep that streak going. This is 3rd and 8. And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. Picked by Cameron Bynum. And the Vikings are right back in this football game. That is the play they needed in a 2-score game here in the 4th quarter.
No doubt about it. They did what they had to do to give themselves a chance to get back into the game. They turned it over to the offense. They are now in charge.
Now they need to execute. And he'll be taken down right around the 41-yard line. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1. From the gun, here's Cousins. He'll dump this off to Cook. And he'll be brought down inside the 40-yard line.
But they certainly had success throughout this contest getting him the ball in the passing game, and there he picks up another first down. Whatever they saw going into this one, they've been able to capitalize on it, and no adjustment has been made to take it away.
And now here is another interception. Darius Slay with a pick. And the Eagles are going to take over once again at their own 25-yard line. With the points that we've seen scored, neither defense has been at their best, but these guys, they've been a little bit better, Charles, and a nice interception there.
Yeah, you're right about that, Brandon. Let's face it. It's not always how you start, it's how you finish, right? So maybe you have a rough game all the way along. If you make a big play like that at the right time, it can make everything turn out just okay.
So the incompletion, and now it's 2nd and 10, again from the 25-yard line. Back to throw. Flushed out right. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. He turned that into a nice gain, gets him 8 yards closer for 3rd down. They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. On 3rd down, they'll run it with Sanders. Oh, he's got a little daylight. And he's taken down right at the 45-yard line. 65 yards rushing for him now with a couple of touchdown runs to boot. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. An option handoff given to Sanders. And he will go out right near the 35-yard line. 11 more yards that go around, a first down as well.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with, and throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a first down, he's the guy they've turned to. And it doesn't matter what the defense thinks. They feel like they've got the confidence to keep handing it to him and keep picking up good yardage.
Now here's a throw right side, taken in by his tight end. Oh, able to avoid him. And he'll be out of bounds. A big play there on the catch and run. 34 yards.
Well, so often now we're praising tight ends for their nimbleness and how they catch the ball downfield. But occasionally we get a reminder that tight ends, they've got that tough guy aspect too. How about him catching that short one there, shaking off tacklers, and turning that into an expansive gain down.
And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Jalen Hurts. It's a 1-yard touchdown run. And the Eagles have pretty well put it away here in the 4th quarter. Hurts will throw. And this is going to be caught. So add 2 more to the lead as they continue to pour it on here in the 4th. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. Nwangu now from his end zone. And they'll get him down right around the 25, actually the 26 officially, so a net gain of 1 there. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. Where we stand right now in the fourth quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys already start.